Welcome to Always Dolls, and thanks for joining us. We hope you've been enjoying our DIY Cafe series. Today we share with you how to make sweet and savoury snack foods for your dolls to sell. In this video, we craft scrumptious quiche slices, strawberry cheesecake bars, and classic meat pies. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and share to help our channel grow. So, let's get making! We will start with a cafe breakfast food, bacon and leek quiche. To gauge the right size for the quiche slice, we measured an AG cheese wedge. It's about 4 cm by 4 cm. Draw a square this size on paperboard and mark the vertical center line. Sketch a V shape at the bottom. Extend the line outward to the side edge, stopping 5 mm from the top. Then draw a curved line to connect the side edge with the top center mark. Cut out your square and fold in half. Now we can cut along our pencil guideline for a symmetrical slice template. Trace this onto paperboard twice more and cut out. For the quiche itself, we are using a cheap kitchen sponge. If possible, try to use a yellow or light orange coloured sponge. Place your template on top as you cut out the slice. Next, glue your paperboard wedges together for the base. Add a very generous amount of liquid glue to adhere the sponge. Put more liquid glue on the curved end to attach a strip of corrugated cardstock for the wavy crust. The height of this strip will depend on the thickness of your kitchen sponge. Trim off the excess cardstock, then set your piece aside to dry. While waiting, we can make the toppings. For bacon bits, we are cutting tiny squares of pink fun foam. For the leek, we have 2 shades of green fun foam and have angled our scissors so the blades cut super flat, thin strips. Coat the top and sides of your sponge. You will need a lot of glue since the sponge wants to absorb it. Place your pink squares randomly on top of the quiche and along the sides. You can also push the squares into the holes in the sponge for added realism. Next, add your green strips, varying the placement of the colours for a natural look. When you are happy with the amount of toppings, set aside to dry out completely. We are shading the quiche with acrylic paints. Mix yellow ochre with white for a light tan colour. Apply using a gentle tapping motion over the sponge. Paint as normal on the crust and base to cover the original cardstock colour. Following this, apply a reddish-brown paint to the top edges of the sponge only. These are the areas where the quiche gets more heat when baked in the oven. To add even more detail and realism, take a dark brown paint like red ochre and tap this colour sparingly near the crust and on some of the more obvious topping pieces. Your doll-sized breakfast quiche is ready for sale. Our strawberry cheesecake bars were inspired by 2016 Grace's Patisserie Treats. You will need scraps of coloured fun foam and a template. Using your template, cut 4 pink rectangles, 2 tan, 1 white and 1 red. Stack and glue the 3 pink pieces for a thick top layer. Cover with more glue and add the first tan piece, the white layer, red layer, pink rectangle, then your second tan piece for the biscuit base. To decorate, we will use red puffy paint. Referencing an image of American Girl's Treat, squeeze out 3 lines that fan out to be wider at the end of the bar. To simulate the cream dollop, we have pink deco cream. But you can also make this by mixing white caulking with pink acrylic paint. On a non-stick parchment or wax paper, squeeze out a thick blob. This particular brand of deco cream shrinks a lot when dry, so we made our dollop bigger to compensate for the shrinkage. The strawberry slice came from an old eraser set. You could also make a strawberry from air-dry clay, as shown in our DIY berries tutorial, or cut one from red fun foam. The leaf is from a fake flower set. Arrange in the wet deco cream, then leave to dry and set. After an hour, the outside is touch dry, but the underside will still be wet. Carefully peel off your wax paper and place on your bar. This pretty looking dessert is sure to be popular at the cafe. For the super hungry customer, let's make a hearty meat pie. For the pie pans, we are recycling milk bottle caps. Give them a couple of coats of silver paint to mimic the look of tin foil. Since these are individual serving size, you can use scraps of air dry clay or non-traditional colours for the filling since you won't see it. Take enough clay to fill the inside of the milk cap. Then add more clay and build up a domed centre. For the pie lid, mix white air dry clay with a touch of yellow paint to get a light cream colour. Roll out a thin sheet, then cut a circle that is slightly bigger than the diameter of your milk cap. Drape the clay over the top, pressing firmly with your fingertip to connect the lid with the scrap clay underneath. You can also roll the excess clay back on itself to make the edges of the pie thicker. With a toothpick, make little impressions around the perimeter, just like you see in real pies. With a hard bristled brush or old toothbrush, texture the pie lid. Next, make an X shape in the centre, but do not puncture through the clay lid. To shade, we are using 2 colours of brown acrylic paint. Take the light brown and a damp brush to evenly spread the paint over the whole pie lid. Flip over and cover the lip of the pie crust too. Now switch to your reddish brown colour. Tap off the excess paint onto scratch paper as we want to dry brush this colour over the pie crust to give it a subtle, warm glow. Super easy to make, but super delicious for your doll customers. If you'd like to craft even more cafe foods, check out these muffins from our DIY breakfast foods video and our egg and lettuce sandwich from our DIY school lunch tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to Always Dolls and hit the bell icon so you get notified as soon as a new video drops. See you soon for more miniature crafting fun!